Awesome. So we're back.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Kaleb Carrasco. I'm 19 years old and I play drums.
Carrasco or Carrasco?
Carrasco.
Oh, okay.
Carrasco.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you play the drums in the collective.
In the collective, yes, I play drums.
But I mean, you play other instruments. I've seen you play other instruments.
Yeah, I play, like I said, I play drums and I play piano. And then because of school, I also play like a little bit guitar.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How did you pick up the guitar, bro?
It was just part of my class. I had to do it.
You had to.
Yeah, else I wasn't going to pass my class.
Oh, that's not.
So that's
good.
the only reason why I did it.
Yeah.
But I do like the guitar, I'll say that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Besides playing the drums in the collective, what else do you do? You do other stuff for us, right?
Yeah, I do everything. I in order, I started off as a drummer.
Okay.
And then I became one of the producers, and then
Yeah. One of the producers or the producer? No, one of the producers, right? One of the
well,
producers.
actually I produced the second song that we did. I produced it on my own.
Okay.
So I became the producer
Yeah.
for that.
For
And then
that song.
For that song,
Which
and then
is
Man of Your Word.
Men of Your Word.
Yeah.
Are you
Am I what?
a man of your
Oh,
word?
man of your word.
All right. So, anyways,
He is,
so
bro, he is.
Okay. Awesome.
So I became a producer, and then after that, I became like the recording engineer.
Okay.
And then after that, I just started like mixing and mastering our music.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sounds
Yep.
good. So you're coming from where right now?
Riverside.
Riverside. What are you doing in Riverside? What's there?
I go to school in Riverside. Yeah.
You sound like a detective, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's. I want to get him to talk. I think he's a little nervous. Just listen now, bro.
sure.
Go with the flow, man. So what school do you go to?
You can't be doing this all the time, man. I go to California Baptist
You're stuck in the
University.
back. That's why. Okay.
Go to CBU.
CBU. Okay, awesome. What? What year?
I
I was
am.
gonna say what grade because you look really young, bro. But what year?
Yeah, I'm a second year student. Yeah,
And you're going for what?
for commercial music.
Commercial music.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that different than regular music, or what's up with that?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is like music business.
Okay.
So like the like I said, like the business side of music, like making money,
Yeah.
like as a profession, like going
that's
out
cool.
and like playing out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So, how old were you when you started playing the drums?
I was 3.
3 years old.
I was 3 years old. Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy. What set did you have, or was it just like a
I don't remember. I think like the earliest I can go back, it was this company called Premiere. Like old school,
yeah,
man. It was
yeah.
like it was like a silver kit.
Yeah.
And then like throughout the years, like we lost the floor tom, so it was just the 2-rack toms. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then after that, like I started getting better kits.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. How did you pick up the drums, bro? Like, and so young.
I grew up in a household of like just musicians and singers.
Okay.
So, and then for those who don't know, my dad's a pastor, and then so just like just playing in church, like
Yeah.
getting that experience, and just like being around a lot of like my parents' friends who are also musicians.
Okay.
So that helped me like a ton, and like establishing myself as a musician.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. And you just stay with drums up to what age did you pick up the piano?
I picked up the piano, I want to say maybe like my freshman year of high school, sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like 14.
Nice.
That's when I just started playing around, and since then I
Yeah.
just kept playing.
Because when you play the piano, I've seen UMD sometimes, right?
Mhm, yeah.
You're a musical director. That's pretty cool. What does the job entitle for you, like being a musical director?
It's kind of different for different occasions. Like right now, I'm the music director at my local church.
Okay.
So like what that entails is like
Pause right there. Your local church. What church do you go to? Because you go with your dad, right? Yeah, I mean, like.
yeah, I go to church with my dad in Orange.
Okay.
So,
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. What's the name of the church?
Church of God of Prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Kogas.
Yes. Kogab.
Kogo.
Kogo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So we're in the city of Orange.
Nice. Okay. So you're MD right there. And
Yeah, I'm MD at my dad's church, and pretty much like what I do as the music director is I'm in charge of leading the band,
Yeah.
and then I have the role of like scheduling our musicians
Yeah.
and singers. So each week I'll go and schedule who's playing on Thursday, who's playing our midweek, and then our Sunday service.
Yeah.
And then I'll like input songs for people, or I'll suggest songs for the singers to sing.
Yeah.
Leading a band, guiding them through the band, leading rehearsals, pretty much everything that goes on behind the scenes. Just making sure that that we're pretty much like worshiping and performing
Yeah.
at a high level, at the highest level that we can do.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So you're back there. You play the drums. You play the piano. You're with the mic. You're speaking into the ears.
Yes.
I
yeah.
mean, I'm asking you all this because a lot of people don't know. We kind of, you know, like I want to get to know a little bit more because you're going to school for that. Do they teach you that in the school, like how to do all that, or did you just learn? Was it just like second nature to you?
Yeah.
Because you've been a musician for so long. Like how did you step into that role? Like how did all that happen?
I really don't even know how exactly it happened. I think it's like it took place when my dad became a pastor.
Yeah.
For like his second term, pretty much. So my dad was a pastor from when I was like 3 to like 12, and then we took a break, and then we became my dad became pastor again from when I was like, I want to say like 15 up until now.
Okay.
So once I was like 15 was when I picked up the keys already.
Yeah.
And then I was already more like fluent as a musician. And just growing up in church and being around like great musicians, great directors influenced me and how I like picture music and how I like I've just been around a good band and a well-functioning band. And
Yeah.
I had been able to see that prior. So all that experience and knowledge and all that just like helped me to when I actually became a music director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So in Popup, you play the drums. How do you feel that's ministry, like in your eyes?
I think like Popup Worship is a ministry within itself. So
Yeah.
I'm just like a servant. I'm just someone who contributes to the ministry, right? Like I provide my services
Yeah.
and the gifts and talents that God has given me to be able to share the gospel, which is what we want to do through music. So that's ministry. You know, any way that you're doing a work for God is ministry.
Yeah.
So that's how I picture it.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. How did you meet Tom? Like, how did you guys, like, how did that came to be, bro? Like,
I don't know, Tom. How do we meet?
Through a mutual friend, Jay.
okay.
He's a bass player. Shout out to Jay.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Jay.
But
Haven't met him yet.
Yeah, he still hasn't met him. But Jay, I guess it was pandemic. They had met online or whatever, and I was already with the vision to do Popup Worship.
Yeah.
And I had other musicians in mind,
Yeah.
but I was lacking on a drummer. And you have to understand, like what I envisioned, not just any drummer can do, because I did want to mix. Like I didn't want music wise, I needed a drummer that was well rounded. I needed a drummer that could do gospel, that had gospel chops, but can also be solid. Like I knew I wanted that. And to be honest, it's hard because let's face it. Like in the Hispanic, in our like Christian Hispanic culture, you can find drummers that are solid, or they can be pocket, but they don't have the chops. And the music that we have with Popup, or if you come to our session and you listen to the music, it's very mixed a lot with gospel. That drummer has to be a gospel drummer.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that specifically, and Jay was like, "Hey, this kid, he's really good," but he didn't tell me that he was that young. He's just like he's really good, and you should hit him up. And he showed me his Instagram. So when I saw it, I was like, "Man, young." I think you're like 16, no?
I was like 16, yeah.
And then, I mean, it's not that I hesitated, but I was like, he's
Yeah.
really young. I don't know if it's going to work out because I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I hit him up on Instagram, FaceTime,
Yeah.
a video chat. And I basically explained what I wanted to do. And he was like, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I want to do it. I'm like, cool.
That's cool.
You know, so and that's how we connected. And then we kept in contact that way. We recorded our first song. Everybody sent their files in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we actually met till we shot that video with was Come to the Altar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
remember that. That's funny.
So yeah.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool. So that's your drum set, the one that
No. So,
No.
like I said, like I didn't know Tom.
Yeah.
Going into the video, like this was the first time that we were ever gonna meet.
Yeah.
So like even like the conversations before, like, hey, like what kind of gear do they have? Like just pretty much just trying not to sound like a diva.
Yeah.
Just because I'm walking into a situation where like I don't know the
You don't
guy
know the
putting
guy,
it together.
Yeah.
And then like his wife's gonna be there, like the videographer, like the whole crew's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like I don't know what to expect. So they were like, we got a drum set, and so at that time I was rocking. I still am rocking with a few companies. So
Yeah.
like I just made sure to take like my specific gear that I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So that's how you guys meet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story, bro. Like I really didn't know. So when did you guys start playing live together as a band?
We started playing live, probably like. Honestly, I don't. Do you know the timeline?
It was. I think it was like around. If I'm not mistaken, like probably like September. I think we did it. I think we did a. Remember our first session was at David's
On the outside.
dad's church on the outside.
Let me see. We did. It was like a few months after the video, right?
Yeah, it was a few months after. Like, cause we pandemic, we couldn't meet up.
Yeah.
Even that they had limited it to like 50 people only.
Yeah.
So we couldn't like have an open thing. It was like by Eventbrite and invite only. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like a you know.
And then even when we met, we they told us to wear masks.
Oh yeah.
They were
yeah.
like, you gotta come in with a mask, and like,
Yeah.
it was really weird.
At the place where you guys recorded and
Yeah,
everything, you
yeah,
had to wear
because
a mask.
it was still a church, and
Yeah.
the film crew that was there, like they're not Christian, they're just a secular like film crew.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Can we all wear masks?" And they were all scared. Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I like that, because you've always strived for excellence,
Yeah.
and you do as well, as far as I can see, right? How's your schedule? Because you're a student, you're a full-time student.
Full-time student,
Yeah, full-time musician.
full-time musician.
Yeah, because you play with other people, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. My schedule's pretty crazy.
I know. Yeah.
It's crazy. But like if you want to be successful, you got to put yourself through some pain, through some nights of no sleep, through some stress. Honestly, like
Yeah.
you got to put yourself through it to see if you could really hang.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
That's
Yeah.
good though. That's good. I mean, if I could speak on him as a part of Popup, they're all essential pieces. Like,
Yeah.
But he's become what I didn't expect him to become in Popup.
Yeah.
Because obviously we work with somebody else who can mix and they could do other stuff.
Yeah.
But because he started going to school, I met him in high school, so I
Yeah.
still didn't know that he wanted to go to school for that.
He didn't know me.
Yeah, I didn't know him
Yeah.
like that. I didn't know
like that.
what he wanted or what he was going to. I knew that he was good at drumming.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that he's like a prodigy, right? I'm not trying to
Yeah.
put you on the spot, but
Yeah.
he has a full ride at school. He's like extremely talented.
Yeah.
And then obviously he stepped up. Not that I asked him to step up. He just stepped up in like this like as a member of Popup Worship to do way more than what I expected from a drummer. So to see his growth, he's still going. It's not like, I'm very open with him. I tell him like, bro, I love you. I want you to serve and I want the best for you. I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
But part of that also is knowing that there might be a time where he's so busy and, either with other artists or with school and his career, that I know that, he has to make a decision to be either continue and serving and pop up, or I have to understand too that he's on his career, he's on his path, and but either way, I pray for that. I pray for him. And the reason I say that is because he is an essential part, like right now, of pop-up. Like anything that we're producing or production is going through him.
Yeah.
because he offered himself. It's like, I want to, can I do this? Can I? So we're like, yeah, definitely. Like you said, I do try to do everything. I strive for not perfection, but I want to do the best that I can.
Yeah.
If I want to put out content, it needs to be the best that I can.
Yeah.
So we have the ability to work with other people, but at the same time, it's like, well, he's already doing it and he's striving to be the best that he can at that.
Yeah.
Why not allow him to just keep on doing it? Yeah. Like I said, I know in previous, podcasts, like God always puts the right people at the right place.
Yeah.
So especially him, he's one of those people. It's like, all right, he's about it. He's as busy as he is. I'm the same with everybody. I'll text everybody. I expect a response. I expect them to treat me the same way I treat them. So as busy as he is, because I know he's one of the busiest guys, but he's in a different season. That's all he does. But he's busy. I know that's what he's doing. He'll still, like be responsible. He'll still be like, okay, let's send this out. Let's do this and get this done. So I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful, definitely.
So you're here.
I want to say like that. Like Papa really opened up a lot of doors for me.
Yeah.
Like even starting off, because, dude, if I listen back to my mixes, like they're just trash. They're like so whack. But like I told Tom, like I don't know when I saw you last week, and I'm like, dude, like I'm getting good, bro. I'm like, I'm getting good. He's like, and he was like, yeah, man, you're going to school, bro. You gotta get good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm getting good, man. So, like all through Pop-Up, like people like checking out my mixes and like and like really liking what they hear has like opened so many doors for me to like mix and engineer for like artists, like big time artists, and do certain things for like there's a different level. Like it's opened up so many stuff, and I appreciate Tom and his wife for like the opportunity. Because he didn't expect like any of the extra stuff. All he was asking for was just a drummer.
Yeah.
But like that's what just makes yourself so much more valuable. The fact that like you have someone who could play drums. And I'm not boasting, but like someone who plays drums, someone who plays keyboard, someone who's able to like direct the band in a efficient way, and who knows how to run Ableton, who knows how to engineer, like all that stuff is like matters so much if you want to like keep the gig and like just get so much more recognition and just be in it for like the long haul, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people might say, "Oh, this little kid, he's just lucky." But I feel it's not luck. It's you prepare yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like you were at the right time at the right place. It's just that, like he said, you said, I want to serve. And I think it's something that we're going to touch a lot about because that's what Popup Worship is about.
Yeah.
Serving. Yeah. We're not about the clout. We don't want to be seen. We just really want to serve. I know you're looking around and we're going to be looking around a lot because... There's a lot of noise outside. There's people outside, that
people watching.
There's people watching outside, So if you hear clapping, and stuff like that, it's all for Kaleb. Everybody's clapping for Kaleb.
He's up with the cloud, bro.
Yeah. So it's like, how being so young did you envision yourself going there? Like you said, this is what I want to be. This is where I want to go. Because it's like you have that drive, bro.
Yeah. I think it comes a lot from my family.
Yeah.
Like seeing my dad and my mom and like growing up wasn't like easy for me. Like there was just like a season in my life that I can say like there was a season in my life where things weren't easy. Like there was like it was rough, man, and like the only way that I could honestly like put it aside and like just continue was God and like music.
Yeah.
And like those two like really held me together, helped me like hold my sister together at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like her being like she was like 6 at the time.
Yeah.
And like for me to see like my sister like crying and like so confused like hurt me, bro, like as a 12-year-old kid. So like for me to like be where I'm at right now, like just helped me like that season of my life helped me like just like persevere and like in like just like pretty much fight through any obstacle that came my way. And like I got really good at like blocking out people. Even till this day, like I'm pretty good at blocking out people.
Yeah.
But like just
that's not a good thing, bro.
It's not a good thing, but like there's sometimes, man,
I get you.
Sometimes there's people who just like who just aren't the right fit for you.
Yeah.
Either as a friend or like in your environment.
Yeah.
But anyways, like all that like helped me like just block out all the negative stuff and just helped me like push towards what I really want to do. And all throughout that time was when I really wanted to do music. Like I had been a musician since I was 3, up until like when I was 12, which when I was in middle school. Once I entered my freshman year of high school, I entered already in band. Like I already knew how to read, play drums.
Wow.
And so I'm like, dude, like I'm pretty good at this, so I wanna like continue. And then that's when I made the decision to like really push even harder and like do it for a living. So like at the age of 14 was when I started meeting a lot of new people. I think I met Andy at that age, and like even Andy like was like a big door in my life. Like he helped me like get gigs when I was like 14, man. Like he would come pick me up, or like my parents would come drop me off. Like all of that like really helped me and opened up my eyes to like to see what I could do for a living, you know, and do what I love to do. Yeah. Which is most important, honestly.
So you feel the environment, the people that surrounded you had a lot to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's so many people in my life who I can mention, like who really impacted me and what I do right now. Yeah. And every now and then I'll message someone like, dude, like thank you so much for implementing this in my life, and because of this, like I'm doing this and that, and there's just a lot of people who I'm thankful for.
Yeah. And you, like you said, you stepped away from certain people that were, you can say, toxic to your life, or how did that happen? I mean, like you're talking about being really young and you seeing like, hey, these people is not bringing anything to my life. I'm just gonna step away from that.
Yeah, like I mentioned, like my parents they're really strong people. Like my dad's a pastor, so the fact that my dad could talk to anybody is pretty amazing. Yeah. You know, same thing with my mom. Like my mom works at a school right now, and like you don't like there's so many random parents who like you talk to and stuff. So like my surroundings were for the most part they were good, but there's just some people who would look down on me, or like would tell me something, or like were like two-faced, honestly. Like they'd like be someone else and then they'd be someone else with me. Just a bunch of like crap, honestly. So like being able to like push people away and to like and not get like so thrown off my rhythm was kind of hard, but like I overcame a lot of stuff. There's just a bunch of people in my life who just weren't supposed to be in it.
That's good because you're able to recognize that. How do you feel Popup Worship has impacted your life personally? Because you said they, being here, open doors for you. Yeah. But I see it on the other side, because when I met you guys, it was through a really rough time in my life, So it's like everybody, the way you guys worship, and I don't think I've told you, but I've told Tom, it's like, to me, Popup Worship, it's like musicians' music, it's not just like, like it's not just music, because it's like you guys are at another level, like yourself, Andy that plays, he's an amazing guitar player, the band, you guys are at another level. But meeting you personally, it really changed my perspective, even meeting Tom, it changed my perspective on what to expect from people, because sometimes you're just like, they're just another band. Right. But it's like, it's basically a family, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Pop-Up has impacted my life because especially during COVID, when all this started, it was like churches were shut down. Yeah. Right, churches were shut down. So the fact that we were able to like bring pretty much church and like good worship back to like in-person environment was really cool. Like a lot of people were like, dude, like my church was shut down, but like I went to every pop-up session. Yeah. I enjoyed like seeing people again. So like that impacted me, of course, like my musicianship level has like skyrocketed like within the last 3 years. Yeah. Being in pop-up and then like of course joining school, but like spiritually, like it kept like our family sane, like we would, like go to pop-up sessions and like pray over it, and there was always someone would drop just some words of wisdom and would just remind us like why we do it, why we serve, and it has a special place in my heart, honestly. Yeah. Especially because COVID wasn't like the easiest for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Especially like not like of course financially and for other people, but just not being in church, and all we've ever known is church. You know,
Yeah.
like we're in church every
Yeah.
Sunday. So for us not to be in church on Sunday for like
Yeah.
2 years, it's kind of weird, you know. So for
Yeah.
us to like get together and worship and do something good for the kingdom, impacted my life a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're a pastor's kid. You said
Pastor's
right?
kid.
Your dad is a pastor. You know, great guy. He's
Mm-hmm.
like the unofficial pastor of the collective.
Popup Worship,
Yeah, we'll talk to him later on. You know, we'll talk to your mom. You know, but having them in your life, you know, seeing them, how do you think that guided you? Because you're young, you're a great musician, you're a great drummer, bro. Like you could be playing somewhere else, you know. Why not? I mean, it's straight up, bro. Like
No, you know, it's very true, and literally, like as I saw my dad right now,
Yeah.
like pretty much just like family's family, man.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, like my dad has his ministry,
yeah,
and I want to be part of that.
yeah,
You know, like I trust God enough, and I trust my skills enough
yeah,
to know that God's gonna open up so many other doors
Yeah.
in my lifetime, you know, to get me
Wow,
right.
yeah.
And especially right now with like being full-time student,
Yeah.
it's like the money can wait. Like to me, money isn't the issue.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no issue at all. Like I just simply just want to worship along with my family, and be to blessing to my dad and his ministry that he has.
yeah.
So yeah, my family's family, bro. You can't leave that.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's really good because you meet people with that talent that they're like about it, bro. Like they just want to be out there. They just want to be seen, you know. They're about the cloud, you know, and stuff like that. And to hear such a young person, you know, like Tom said, you know, and he always says that you're a prodigy, you know, on the drums, and I agree with it. You know, I'm a drummer, you know, and I think you're one of the drummers that I look up to, you know. So I mean, it's great, and to hear you say that, you know, it's refreshing, you know, to this time, you know. But I was gonna ask Tom, you know, it's like, how do you feel the weight of leading people, you know? Because sometimes we just say, oh, you know, like this person, you know, that person, you know, I'm a mentor for them, you know. But it's a weight on your shoulders, bro. Like you know, like seeing this huge ministry that he has. Not only him, everybody in the band, you know, because you're a leader's leader. How do you feel like that? Like, what goes through your head when you think about the band?
I mean, to start off with, I think that we mess up when we think that, oh, I'm like the boss or I'm like the guy.
Yeah.
Because I think that the essential part of being a Christian and a son of God, like someone who has a relationship with God, is like you understand what you get to do. You get to serve people.
Yeah.
So like I have a dad, bro, who's hard. Like my dad, he's cool. My dad's a great guy.
Yeah.
And when I talk to your dad about you, like your dad loves you so much, and your he wants to be there. I'm not saying my dad doesn't.
Yeah.
But my dad's when it comes to like the spiritual, my dad's like
like
very judgmental.
Yeah.
It could be in a bad way, but no, I mean it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But he lets me know like this is not like good. This is not right. You know, like, oh, these people you have with you are not, like, let's be real about it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but always what my dad has is that he wants to see people succeed.
Yeah.
You know, and him being my mentor and like in the spiritual area, and seeing him serve allows me to see, like, my dad always told me, like, look, you should be around people. So I'm glad that he's talking about the people that he needs to cut off all that. My dad always told me, 2 people you need to be around. Only 2 people. The first are the people who can mentor you, who have stuff to pour into you, who you can learn from, who can make you better. And the other people are the people who you can influence and who you can make better and who you can serve and help. You know, everybody else, you got to cut them off, basically. Like, there's no purpose for them. So when I think about, like, the guys, like, Popup, it wasn't my intention to, like, oh, I got to, I don't consider myself a mentor to them.
Yeah.
But, like, in everything I can see, like, yeah, like God has a purpose for each and every one of them. That's why we're doing this, the documenting this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, everybody has something to talk about that's great, something that they can leave, and that people should get to know them who they are, like the collective. And so the way that I see them is that, like, either it's both ways. They pour onto me and they show me stuff, and likewise, like, I tell God, like, allow me to, like, pour into them and,
Yeah.
help me serve them so they can grow and be successful at whatever they do. In Caleb's case, it's like, man, I wish I would have had somebody telling me,
Exactly.
do it like this, do it like that, like in the music stuff. Because he's so talented,
Yeah.
I pray that God obviously allows him to make the right decisions and guides him and, and prospers him in everything that he does. Because I feel like like we talk about all the time, like Popup Worship is to serve, to spread the gospel, but also I think about my kids a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, how can I teach them to serve, to love God, but, to love people, to serve them, and in our culture, the culture is changing drastically. You're talking about Caleb is a different generation. One of my questions for him was, like, last time we were talking, was like, how do you see music in church? What do you think about that? How do you connect that? Because you're very talented, like we were talking to Andy about he plays for secular music, and how does he feel about, like church musicians and whatever. But Andy's around our age. Caleb's way younger.
Yeah.
So I do feel the way, like, man, like, he needs to know what having a true relationship with God is and what serving means. I know for a fact that when you serve, like in Popup, and it's not because it's Popup, but we talk about this all the time. It needs to always remain genuine. It needs to remain like we just want to serve people and we want to serve God. Everything else is added is dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we joke around the clout. Like, people want to do it for the clout. But I think there's nothing wrong with that, but except God has to put you there. Right. You know what I mean? So whatever you get to do, and that's extra that you get because you serve.
Yeah.
That's extra that God's going to put you there because you have the right heart. It's a genuine thing. So I don't think myself as a mentor, but I do pray, like, God give me wisdom to guide them right. I always, between us, I always tell you guys, like, I don't want to waste your time. So that scares me because I'm like, I don't want people to waste. I don't like people wasting my time, so I don't want to waste your time. Yeah. And man, like I said, man, I can't say it enough. I feel like I'm really privileged to have the team around me.
Yeah.
They're about it.
That's cool. So, That's cool.
So that's how it kind of like to answer your question.
I know, bro. Yeah. And how do you feel when people look up to you, bro? Like, when your son, right? He's always like, oh, how is Caleb doing it? How do you deal with that? How do you keep yourself grounded, bro? Like, because it's not like you're super famous, but it's like you throw around Kaleb Carrasco, and people are like, I know that fool, like.
No, but like grounded how?
I mean, you're super chill, bro. I mean, you're cool, I've texted you, like you show me some stuff, and it's like you're there, like you're reachable. You're not like, I've been around musicians, and some of them, they're like, oh, no, bro, and I'm like, I'm doing the sound for you. Like,
right.
I'm not asking for your autograph, like, right. So it's always real. It's always humble, it's always, grounded. I mean, you know where you're standing, like, right. How do you keep yourself like that? Because I went to, I go to concerts, bro, and you're right there.
Right.
And you're serving, like you can say you're serving, but you're actually getting paid to be there, because right. You're doing sound engineering, you're recording, because like we said, you not only play the drums, right. It's like I go to events and I'm like, bro, like, give me a backstage pass, bro, so it's like.
You know what, I've been like really fortunate and blessed that God has put me in the position that I am now.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I know a ton of people and even stuff that I can't even like disclose, like I can't say.
Yeah.
But like I didn't grow up like being like a famous person. Like a ton of people know my dad. Like a lot of people know him and like his background. So I really don't know, man. I think like whoever you see, like if you see me in person, like I'm the same person that I am right now that I will be like in an hour or when I go back to school.
Oh, wherever you are, yeah.
Yeah, wherever I am, like I'm not anyone else. Like some people like switch up attitudes and characters so fast.
Exactly.
And those are the people that you gotta cut off, like straight up.
Yeah.
Like if you're someone else like at school and someone else at church, like it can't be like that. Like you gotta be the same person always and apparently I'm like a likable person, so
yeah.
people like being around me and yeah. I mean I just try to be the best like version of myself every day, represent myself well, represent Christ well, represent my family well.
Yeah.
Cause like honestly, like my last name runs pretty deep in our circle, so
yeah.
Definitely not like disappointing anyone, man. Like I can't be acting a fool.
Yeah.
So just be like just a professional person, like as an individual, wherever you go with respect and maturity.
Yeah.
Of course you can joke around, but for the most part you gotta be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
How old are you, bro? Like 30?
40, bro. No, but that's good, man. That's good. Let's talk about a little bit about music. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up,
let's
bro.
do it.
Yeah. Who are your influences, bro?
Influences?
Music wise, you know,
like influences as in like artists or like people, like who have like
either or, bro. Whatever you want to take it, man.
There's those couple questions. Marcus Wheat or Michael Jackson?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You know what? Like my biggest influences are the people who I've been surrounded with.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too many people because then people are gonna be like, "Oh, you left me out" or whatever.
Yeah.
But I will say one person who impacted my life insanely.
Yeah.
His name's Andy Lozano.
Okay.
He was the music director of my dad's church back when I was like age, I want to say maybe like 8 till like I was 12.
Yeah.
So at that time, like this guy, he went to school for music as well.
Okay.
He was like way well off, like financially. He played for like Marcos Barrientos, like music director for him, had his own band, had his own album, had experiences with like recording.
Yeah.
So even like in the beginning stages of like my musical development, like I owe it to him.
Yeah.
A lot of it, like I think you can tell a lot by a musician if they play with click or not. You know, that's a big thing. You know, do you play with track?
Yeah.
If you can't play with track, you're just not gonna get the gig. So at the age of like 8 or 9, he like implemented the metronome, like a physical metronome. It wasn't one of those like on the laptop and
the tall ones, the kind of triangle looking ones. Like
it was like one of those like little box, like a little like you had to like get a battery.
Yeah, I know
and
what
like
you're talking about.
It had like
old school, man.
It had like little knobs and stuff, like quarter note, eighth note, like a beat, like volume, like it was like a physical metronome. Yeah. Because it was there, you know, like of course, like at that time, like apps were invented already. Yeah. So like you could download a metronome app, but dude, like you get a message and you get so distracted, or like a computer, you know, you never know what happened, especially at that time when technology wasn't where it is now. So he implemented the click in my life like at the age of 9, and like that helped me so much. Like we would do songs at my church with sequence, and even at that time, like the church was just like, dude, like what is this? Like it's a whole different experience. Yeah. And like through him, like he taught me like the basics of like recording. Like he had like his home studio, which at that time was like, dude, this is sick. Yeah. And he, like I said, he implemented the metronome in my life, and like got me to play on so many of his music and stuff, and that man was just like has shaped me to be who I am right now, and that was like the first person that I called. I'll never forget. I called him on the freeway as soon as I got the email that I got a scholarship. Yeah. I called him on my way to church, and he pretty much said the same thing that like Tom said. He's like, dude, like we all knew it. Like like all along, like you were a prodigy,
Yeah.
and like the effort and the hard work that you put. Cause like I really grinded that season of my life, like
Yeah.
playing drums and like, especially playing with Click, man. Like I would cry. I used to hate it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. I told my parents, dude, I hate this guy. Like he doesn't let me play, and like he wants me to follow this stupid Click thing, and
Yeah.
but for sure has shaped me to who I am right now, and I can honestly say that I wouldn't be who I am without like the impact and the time and effort that he would put in my craft.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Quick question. So I say you're a prodigy. He says you're a prodigy. When does it get to you say, hey, you know, it's not that I, because certain people are born with musicians bro, you
Music
have to
skills.
yeah, music skills. You
yeah.
can say, you know, like musicianship, you know, and stuff like that. But where do you say no? I put the effort. You know, like I really work towards that. You know, because it's like even Kobe Bryant, man. Like you hear his interviews, and he's like, there are better players than me, and there's a book out. One of his coaches wrote it, and he's like, it's not that he's the best. It's just he puts effort into it, and yeah. So there's this story about Kobe Bryant where there's this basketball player that gets to the Staples at that time, the Staples, you know, and he gets there, and Kobe Bryant is already at the court, and he's shooting, you know, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, you know, he's like running, you know, and the guy's like, I'm just gonna wait until he finishes, you know. So he's there an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, 4 hours. And he's like, oh, you know, like, I need to start getting ready, you know. So he just left. You know, he went backstage, you know, he changed, you know, and everything. They played the game, Lakers win, and the guy then tells him, he's like, hey, you know, like, why do you work so much? And he's like, it's because I saw you right there. And I don't want you to take my spot. And I wanted you to see that I was going to win the game.
Right.
So it's like, when does it come that, you know, that your music side, you know, and the effort that you put?
This might be a little bit controversial, but I genuinely like think, and I've experienced it like firsthand, not personally, but like I've seen people.
Yeah.
God knows what he's doing when he
Yeah.
crafts you, and realistically, God gives you specific talents.
Yeah.
You know, and amounts of it, and he's generous. You know, like I've seen some people who are really good, and their talent only takes them so far. You know, they rely so much on their talent, but I do this for a living, and I take it so serious, because if I don't go to my gig that I have tomorrow,
Yeah.
then I won't have enough money to pay my car.
Yeah.
I won't be able to go eat or take my family out or go
No.
drive home. So, like, in my case, it's like I got to grind it out, because there's always someone better.
Exactly.
But you got to be, like, you got to have something in you, like something special, you know, for someone to call you. And you always got to stay on top of the game, and just be ready for that call. You know, if someone asks you to do something completely random than what you're used to doing,
Yeah.
then it's like you got to be well prepared. And I've seen people who honestly have no talent, but like grind it out,
Yeah.
and are decent musicians. Like,
Yeah.
I really believe that, like, it has to be a calling from God.
Yeah.
I really believe that, because there's so many people, like I said, who aren't really talented, but grind it out, are subpar musicians, or they're all right, but it takes a different, like, quality and like talent and gift and ethic to be someone who's really good.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of work.
Because up to date, you still have a teacher
Yep.
for drums
Yeah.
besides the school.
Yeah.
Right, because like in school, are you getting drum classes in school?
Yeah.
Not
So,
really.
well, my drum teacher is in school,
He's in school.
but even like,
But it's not one of the classes that you have to take.
well, it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the thing is that when you go to school, to university, you have to take like private instruction.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much part of your grade. Like you have to do it.
Yeah.
But of course, like anything that you do in life, like you're gonna get like what you get out of it is how much you put into it.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of friends who like we have the same instructor.
Yeah.
And for the same amount of time.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, like let's see your progress from the end of the semester to the end of beginning of semester to the end of semester. You know, like how much did you get better?
Yeah.
So in spaces like that really shows like your ethic and not how much it only is about talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where it shows a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, you can learn how to play the bass, and that'll be okay.
Right.
But you're still sticking to the drums, even though you're at the level that you are. You still have a teacher.
Right.
That's good. That's crazy. You know, it's pretty cool. So let's start landing this plane, and let me ask you a question. You know.
Cool.
Awesome. May I?
Yeah.
What would be an advice that you could either you wish you could have received when you were younger, or you want to give to someone, or you know an advice that someone gave you that really impacted your life? What's something that you would say to anyone as a general advice?
I think number one is I grew up in church, and when you do stuff for church, you do it for like God. You know, you do it for you pretty much doing it for the right reason. You know, even if you don't want to do it, you're doing it for at least God. You know, like you're helping the church out, you're serving. But like I would recommend everyone who's serving in their local church, who's serving in their local church, like really like take it serious, like for reals, take it serious and put your efforts into it. Because I know so many musicians who like, dude, like I only started playing bass just because like it was our necessity, or like our keyboardist left the church, and like now we don't have a keyboard player, or like our live stream is trash, so like I had to pick up how to do live stream. But like it's so much more than that. You know, like you gotta like do it for the right reason. Like do it because you're gonna impact your church. You're gonna impact those who are watching your live stream. You're gonna impact those who come and are looking for good worship, for someone to receive. Do it because of that. You know, because you want people to get closer to God. Yeah. You know,
that's great.
And then especially like in the season that I'm in, I would also say like, even my dad said this the other day, and it touched me. And it's like, even though like doors are opening for you, doesn't mean you have to walk through them. Yeah. Like that. When I heard my dad say that, I'm like, dude, that's like so true, man. Yeah. Because you guys know like the people I've worked with, and I've worked with like some big time. Like I'm going on tour next month, and it's like God opens doors for you, but maybe like I think deep down all of us know when to say yes, when to say no, but some people just want to say yes because they are about the clout, or because they're gonna get recognition, or because they're gonna get paid. Like sometimes it's not about the recognition. Sometimes it's not about getting paid. Sometimes it's not about the experience. You know, like you really gotta be cautious and really like ask God for guidance. Because like how we mentioned earlier, like I could easily be playing at a mega church and be making bank. Yeah. But like the fact that I choose not to do it. Yeah. And the fact that I prayed about it, and my heart's with my dad and my family and in the ministry, I've seen God like just pour into me like none other, you know? Yeah. So like be really cautious and like seek God for guidance and like just trust in him. Yeah. Really. That's what I can say to those people watching.
That's cool. That's pretty cool, man. Do you play at a secular level as well? Like, do you play outside of church?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah? All the time.
How do you I'm gonna say how do you marry that?
How do I marry that?
How do you marry that with ministry? How do you combine that? Let's say, okay, cool.
You know, It's always been like a controversial topic too, man. Like
Yeah.
if you mention it, I've been in certain like workshops where like people have asked certain people and
Yeah.
people are just like, ooh, we're just waiting for that question to come up. You know what to lay them down.
Yeah.
But we all need to work. We all need to work. We all need to find a way to provide for ourselves. You know, you gotta find a way to pay your tithes, man. You gotta you gotta survive, you know, and like it's just a job. It's a job, you know. I love the music. Yeah. Like the music's fun. I enjoy it. It's a good environment. I'm with friends. Of course, like as individuals, you know what edifies you. Yeah. And what doesn't. Yeah. And unfortunately, like I mean, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but it's just a reality. Like secular music for a musician, for a working musician and or an aspiring working musician. Like it's the reality. Like you have to work to be able to provide for your family, for your kids, you know, to be able to pay your bills. Like it's what you have to do. And I'm sorry for those who don't want to hear it, but if you don't do it, it's not going to work out.
Because sadly, you know, at least in the Old Testament, and I had this conversation with some pastors last time, you know, in the Old Testament, los músicos, the musicians, the ones that were in the house of God, they would get paid out of the tithes that were given to the house of God, you know, and like church is not doing that anymore, you know. So do you feel, you know, you already say it's controversial, so let's dive into it, bro.
Let's do it.
If you had your pick of a church they would tell you, hey, you know, we're gonna pay you what, 10 grand a month, you know, come over here, work with us. Would you stop doing, you know, secular music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's your job.
Yeah.
But the fact that like it doesn't bother me so much. Like the question isn't if I'd leave like secular music. Yeah. It's pretty much asking if I'd leave the other responsibilities that I have going on. Yeah. Which is like my dad's church. Yeah. So like right now I'm in a, not a situation, but I'm in a season as well where like I'm being offered something else. Yeah. But it can't, like I made it pretty clear that I can't take away from what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So it's kind of like a
that's two-side.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be really committed. You gotta be super committed and you gotta know like where you stand and all that really matters, man. Like you really gotta be cautious. That's what you gotta pray. That's what you gotta pray to God for guidance. Yeah. Like you gotta be super wise, and.
Tom, you're oddly quiet, bro.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about that, man? Because we've had this conversation.
We had this conversation,
and we've had it with some guys from the band as well. You know, it's like
I think it's on a musician to musician, like it's because we can't deny it. Let's be honest. Like some people, I'll lay it simple. This is my point of view. Controversial with this. So you have all these Christian musicians, right? Yeah. And then in our realm, in our circle of like Christian musicianship, the reality is that one is like being talented is great, but that's not what God looks for. Let's be honest. Yeah. Like God can, I mean, there's tons of examples. We don't have the best singing, you know, performing worship leaders, but we have some pretty amazing worship leaders that are not the best singers, but they're worship leaders, right? Yeah. Musicians are the same way. We have some pretty amazing musicians, but not all of them are successful. Yeah. Not all of them God uses that way. So then I think that in the secular like world, like, you know, it's on a basic, like, let's say for example, that God uses this one musician and he's really talented and he's able to play, you know, that person that plays for secular music that goes out there, I feel like has such a responsibility to represent God out there. Yeah. So I don't think that we're not supposed to play there. I think that we just have a huge responsibility to be light out there.
Yeah. I was about to say that. You got to be like a light in the darkness.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but that comes with like giving God the honor at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Where nobody's watching you, where nobody, like, I always remember one time I had a mentor, he told me, it's easy, he told me, like, it's super easy to lead worship where it's a packed house. And I
Yeah.
thought about it like, man, and it's true, bro. You go lead worship where it's a packed house.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. On not on a spiritual level, on a musicianship level, on a performance level.
Yeah.
It's cool. You see all the people in front of you.
And you say, you know, raise your hands, and everybody raises their hands, right? It's
Yeah.
really easy. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Not only can you do that with 10 people, can you lead 10 people like that, where they're just staring at you, or like what Popup Worship does, where not everybody's Christian. We've done sessions where people are like this, we're looking at you like,
Yeah.
you know, wow me. And it's
Yeah.
go back to the thing, it's not about wowing people, but this mentor of mine said, can you do that on your own at home? Can you lift your hands up? Can you worship God, like, truthfully, honestly, by yourself at home, where nobody's watching you? Because that's what God sees.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you really, really like that, and if you give God the glory and the honor like that, when you go out there, you're gonna be light, because it doesn't matter who you're playing for. You understand that it's something God gave you, and you're gonna honor Him in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And like I said, it comes with because not everybody's like that. Unfortunately, in our circle, I know tons of musicians.
Yeah.
Not everybody has got the glory. It's we want to be seen. Like we want the clout. We want to put out the best shows. And you're like, you know, like, well, to each their own, bro. But sometimes that's what happens. So then you could be extremely talented, but God doesn't take you out there to those places.
Yeah.
He doesn't allow it to happen because you don't have the right heart.
Yeah.
You know, and you're very talented, but everybody around you can see. You know, like my dad always taught me this. He always said, in situations where you don't know or you don't see the things that are going on, you have to learn to step out. Like if you're like in a box, you gotta step out of that box, and you gotta look at yourself like the way somebody else would see you. And you have to ask yourself,
Wow.
what would you say to somebody who's doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
How would you look at them? Because if you're able to do that, if you're able to step outside your own box and observe yourself and like check yourself, you can check yourself. You can be like, yeah, that's not right what I'm doing, or that doesn't look right, or it's not right. You know, I'm not doing the right thing, or I'm not doing it with the right heart. So back to the question is like, it's being kind of judgmental. That's not the point. But in our circle, it's not about talent. It's like he said, I think God gives some people some amazing talent.
Yeah.
You see secular musicians. They're like, you talk about the late, great Michael Jackson. And all his weirdness, he's like an amazing musician.
Yeah.
Like he's like the real deal, right? That you look at as a musician, you're like, man, creative, crazy, or whatever.
Yeah.
Extremely talented.
Yeah.
In what God gave him. Because that's something that's God-given, you know? I feel like as Christians, like if you have that already, if you're extremely talented like that and God made you that way, you have this huge responsibility that when you go out there, you also glorify God at the, like, you know, but it has to be in private. You have to be able to do that on your own. You know, you have to be able to check yourself. Surround yourself with people who are going to check you. Like, you know?
Yeah.
like, that's like a norm. You know, like what the guys we always talk about all this, like, hey, you won't forget what we do this for. Like, it's not about the clout.
I've heard you say that time and time again.
Consistent, because like I'm very like I've told them this is very simple. Like we're business people, right?
Yeah.
See, that's what we do.
Yeah.
So if I want to sell this cup, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I gotta do is I gotta make a lot of them. I gotta make commercials for them. I gotta create content for it and put it out there. People's face, right?
Yeah. Are we selling the cups? If you guys want cup,
No,
DM.
Yeah.
DM. Tom.
You know, but then that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a product. You know, unfortunately, what we do in ministry is not a product.
It's not a product. Yeah.
It's not. You know, like there has to be a genuine. Like I'd rather make 1 million of these cups and give them away.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like,
yes.
So that's what I want to implement with them, with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what we do is serve. Even if it's in God's if it's His will and He's gonna bless you, you giving away those 1 million cups, God will put you at a pedestal because you did that for the right reason. You still get the same recognition as if I'm going hard at it. I need to promote all these cups.
Yeah.
I need people to see these cups. God will still take you where He want. Where you know, like it I feel like this normal like that. Like That's the norm.
Yeah.
But because of what we do, our circle, because we're Christian, because we're not even Christian, but because we believe in God and we want to serve God and we think we have a purpose, you have to allow, that has to be left in God's hands.
Yeah.
Like completely, your talent, everything you are, everything. So then when you get put in that position, I feel like, man, you're going to be a crazy impact to the world.
Yeah.
Like crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that Christian musicians can go out there and play secular music. Like Andy was saying, like at his thing, where he's like, well, I don't participate, like, you know, I don't stay after
I don't
the
partake
gigs,
on
I don't partake in all that, you know, but I go and I do my job and I get paid and
it's simply just, it's your profession, man. Like, me and Andy do the same thing for the most part, you know, like we're active in the industry. And we got to do what we got to do, man. Like I said, you know what edifies you. You know what you can stare at. You know what you could drink. You know what your environment. Like, if none of that is cool with you, then just go and be professional, do your job, leave, make your check, keep yourself healthy, keep your families healthy. Like, that's all you got to do.
Yeah. That's dope. That's pretty cool, man. Well, thank you for being here.
Yep.
It's been amazing. It's refreshing to hear someone as young as you having that wisdom, you know, and it really impacted me what you said about surrounding yourself with the right crowd.
Yeah.
You know, man, it's great to have you here, bro. Many more sessions to come, many plans to come. We're gonna be announcing many great things coming up this next year, but do you want to share something that God is doing in your life? I mean, because it's amazing. I love your testimony, bro. Like, I take it as a testimony. And you're like, you raise the bar. But something good that God has done in your life. Something that you're really grateful for. You know, like that most people take for granted. You know, that most people might say, hey, you know, like, he seems to have it together. You know, he doesn't need anything, you know. But I know there's always something deep inside, because I know for Tom, it's his family. You know, it's like you see Tom, you know, it's like, he has it together, you know, he's blessed, he has his company, you know. But I know he's all about his family. He's grateful for his family, you know. And whenever we hang out, you know, we hang out as families, you know. So people see you, you're single, you're young, you have contracts, you know, you have... He's single, okay? He's single. As of today,
on Instagram.
As of today, November 7th, he's single. Yeah. Something that you're grateful for that most people are going to be like, really?
Yeah. You know what? There's nothing like having a local church, man.
Yeah.
Like the house that you build and the house that, like, your surroundings, the people that you see, you know, weekly.
Yeah.
Those are like the people who, like, deep down are like true. Like the church that I grew up in, from, like I said, from when my dad first became pastor and then took that break.
Yeah.
That whole, like, season of my life, those years, like, those people are, like, hold a special place in my heart. Like, those are the people who I grew up, the people who fed me talento at the end of service. You know, during the message, I'd go eat when I was a kid. Like, like, those are the people who are gonna be there, you know, for you.
Yeah.
And who are gonna be there and have witnessed, like, your growth.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for like every single person who I've ever, like, gone to church with.
Yeah.
Like, those people are, like, the people who like I said, who have just seen me grow up.
Yeah.
You know, and have seen me develop, you know, my musicianship skills and my leadership skills and just be the person I am today. Yeah. Like, I remember it was funny when I first got my car. People were like, dude, like, I can't believe you're driving now. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know, for those who don't know, like, I just recently I work for Mirza Marcos.
Yeah.
I did the recording.
That's what I was saying. It's like, wherever I go, bro, you're there.
So, it's like I post that stuff on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And I say Facebook because that's where the old people are at, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll post it on Instagram or whatever, and it's like, dude, like, no way. Like you were, like, crying to learn the click, but now you're, like, here working for these people. Yeah. And then, like I said, I'm going on tour with Phil Wickham next month. And it's like people who were there in the beginning, like just always have something nice and are real,
Yeah.
but also have something wise to say.
Yeah.
And those are the people that I'm like extremely grateful for. Like those people who I just saw every week, every Sunday, and who just took care of me, man. Those are the people who I deep down love and appreciate.
That's cool. That's dope, son.
That's humble. That's humble.
Yeah, that's humble, man. Well, thank you everybody for
sure.
checking this out, for connecting, and we'll be back with more. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead, follow us, DM,
Popup _worship. Yeah.
Awesome. And if people want to find you,
Yeah, Instagram, Kaleb Carrasco Music.
Oficial?
Nope, no. If you have Oficial on your Instagram page, don't follow me. Don't message me. You're not real, man. No, but Kaleb Carrasco Music, follow me.
everything together, underscore, nothing.
Everything together.
One word.
One word.
Awesome. All right, cool.
All
That's
right,
sick.
Thank you for being with us, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
We love you, and on the next one, bro.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Popup Worship.